continuing with 13 virtues he outlines as important that he emulate. The names of virtues with their percepts were: 1. Temperance. Eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation. The golden mean. Silence. Speak not what may but benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation. I like that one. People who, the art of gossip, you know, people who just always have something to say. They're never silent, and it doesn't matter no matter how inane the thing that they say, no matter how worthless or expirable their conversation is, they will continue to try to conversate on the basis of inane and expirable ideas, just so that there's no silence. He says silence is a virtue. 3. Order. Let all your things have their places. Let each part of your business have its time. Right? Integration, cleanliness, organization. 4. Resolution. Resolve to perform what you ought. Perform without fail what you resolve. 5. Frugality. Make no expense, but to do good to others or yourself. That is, waste nothing. If it does yourself or someone else no good, don't spend it. 6. Industry. Lose no time. Be always employed in something useful. Cut off all unnecessary actions. He's like a human robot, trying to be, you know, before there was electricity or mechanics or anything. Sincerity. 7. Use no hurtful deceit. Think innocently and justly, and if you speak, speak accordingly. 8. Justice. Wrong none by doing injuries or omitting the benefits that are your duty. 9. Moderation. Avoid extremes. Forbear resenting injuries so much as you think they deserve. 10. Cleanliness. Tolerate no uncleanliness in body, clothes, or habitation. 11. Tranquility. Be not disturbed at trifles or at accidents common or unavoidable. You know, this is the person who comes into work and their head's falling off. Every single day you see them, they've got a new tragedy. 12. Chastity. 13. Humility. Imitate Jesus and Socrates. Now, Socrates knew only that he knew nothing. Jesus, take that as you will. My favorite line from Jesus, when the man came and said, Lord, he was rich, and he said, Lord, what should I do that I be virtuous? And Jesus said, sell all your belongings, give the money to the poor, and follow me. And he said, what would I do for the morrow, Lord? And Jesus said, look at the lilies of the field. They toil not, neither do they worry or whatever, for God takes care of their needs. Sell all your stuff and come follow me, and God will take care of everything. You know, He'll take care of everything. Don't worry about it. That's great. Great. Then he has a whole little grid. We skip down a couple pages, and he says, my little book had for its motto these lines from Addison's Calo, C-A-L-O. Here will I hold. If there's a power above us, and that there is, all nature cries aloud. Through all her words he must delight in virtue, and that which he delights in must be happy. He also has a quote from Cicero and from the Proverbs of Solomon, neither of which are very interesting. You can read it on your own for those. The precept of order, requiring that every part of my business should have its allotted time. One page in my little book contained the appended scheme of employment for the 24 hours of a natural day. I continued it with occasional intermission for some time. I was surprised to find myself so much fuller of faults than I had imagined, but I had the satisfaction of seeing them diminish, till at length I omitted them entirely, being employed in voyages and business abroad, with multiplication of affairs that interfered. But I always carried my little book with me, so he didn't always follow it, but it was always there in his pocket. Scheme, the hours, the morning. He asked himself a question: what good shall I do this day? From 5 to 7 o'clock, get up, wash everything. From 8 to 11, go to work. At noon, read or look over my accounts. have some food. Afternoon, work till about 5. Evening, from 6 till 9. In the evening, ask yourself a question. What good have I done today? Right? So in the morning, say, what good will I do? And in the evening, what good have I done? During 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, while you ask yourself this question, put things in their places. Clean the house. Supper, do chores and stuff. Music or diversion, conversation, examination of the day. Now we might note here, Benjamin Franklin wasn't a farmer. This is when 97% of people were. So you had to really add value to other people's lives to get them to give you enough wealth. I mean, they're scratching a living out of the bare earth. To get them to give you enough wealth for you to survive without touching the earth, and Benjamin Franklin was able to do that, you have to give them quite a lot of value. My scheme of order gave me the most trouble, and I found that though it may be practical where a man's business was such as to leave him the disposition of his time, that a journeyman printer, for instance, it was not possible to be exactly observed, so he had to abandon it out of practical considerations. Now, Benjamin Franklin has faith, and I think Spike Bravo, Nick Bravo, has this in common with Benjamin Franklin. He believes that ultimately objectivity will triumph over faith, but he believes we have to, so he has faith in that. So we have to stick with faith in the meantime, and he believes objectivity will bear it out. So he's ultimately believing in objectivity. I don't know if Spike Bravo is, but Benjamin Franklin is. So let's visit that. It will be remarked that though my scheme was not wholly without religion, there was in it no mark of any of the distinguishing tenets of any particular sect. Right? None of his virtues were the 10 Commandments or anything. I had purposely avoided them, for being fully persuaded of the utility and excellency of my method, and that it might be serviceable to people in all religions. In other words, this is for human beings. And intending some time or other to publish it, I would not have anything in it that should prejudice anyone of any sect against it. In this piece, it was my design to explain and enforce this doctrine, that vicious actions are not hurtful because they are forbidden, but forbidden because they are hurtful. He wrote an essay saying just that. When God forbids something, it's because they're harmful to us. They're not harmful because they're forbidden. They're forbidden because they're harmful. So God's commandments given to us that we have to accept on faith, actually, says Franklin, if we have faith in them, it turns out, at the end of the day, they are objectively good or bad accordingly as the Bible and God says they are. The nature of man alone considered that it was, therefore, everyone's interest to be virtuous who wished to be happy. That sounds like Aristotle. That sounds like Aristotle. It's wonderful. Virtue is happiness on this earth. So he designed a little system of morality. Those are the 13 virtues I gave you. That he thought would bring this. Skipping down a bit. My list of virtues contained at first but 12. But a Quaker friend having kindly informed me that I was generally thought proud, that my pride showed itself frequently in conversation, that I was not content with being in the right when discussing any point, but was overbearing and rather insolent, of which he convinced me by mentioning several instances. I determined to endeavor to cure myself, if I could, of this vice or folly among the rest, and I added humility to my list, giving an extensive meaning to the word. Jesus and Socrates, remember. And I questioned the virtue of Jesus and Socrates, and it turns out that he put Jesus and Socrates in there out of fear of his own virtue of pride. Now, pride is a virtue, especially if you go with Aristotle's ethics, which it virtually sounds like he's trying to go with. Pride's a virtue. It's no vice. Hubris is having too much pride and leading to a downfall. But that simply means that you better be damn sure if you're going to pull up and be proud. Continuing, I cannot boast of much success in acquiring the reality of this virtue, but I had a good deal with regard to the appearance of it. I made it a rule to forbear all direct contradictions in the sentiments of others and all positive assertions of my own. In other words, he always says, Well, I'm pretty sure